Hello there, beautiful beings, and welcome to my sacred space. My name is Raven, and thank you so much for being here. Today, we're gonna have a look at the Housewives Tarot deck, a domestic divination kit with deck and instructions book. I'm so keen to have a look at this deck. I saw it at the bookstore, and I grabbed it. Yeah, it's very interesting. It reminds me of the Zombie Tarot. I feel like it's published by the same company, I guess. I like it. I'm very much into pin-up, although this is not, technically a pin-up deck, but that era is very exciting, and it's very nice to have a deck that is representative of that era. I don't like the idea of like women just being housewives, you do you, whatever, but I don't know if they were restricted in those times, right? If it was their choice, then that's well and good, but I think it's really cool nowadays that women get to go out there and live their lives as best as they can, like not being restricted to just being housewives and whatever. This is so cool because it looks like a recipe kit, I guess. And then you have the major arcana. Oh, and there's a message here: icebox fortune cake. Oh, no way, are these actual? Oh my gosh, eat this cake quickly before your past, present, and future start melting together. Okay, so I guess these are legit recipes that you can use. I think that's nice. Just gonna pull out the card. Okay, so we have the major arcana. Let's talk about the card quality. If you're just here, I keep forgetting this, but if you're just here to have a look at the images, check out the timestamp in my description box below, because in this channel we talk about the cardstock, we talk about the packaging, the recipes, and whatnot. So if that's not something that you're keen to watch, check out the description box. Let's go through the guidebook first. So I love this style, it's so cool. Okay, so the Housewives Tarot instruction book. All right, so I have the table of contents here. When was this published? 2004. Wow. Okay. Headcase, yeah, I remember a Headcase also created the one for the Zombie Tarot. The Legend of the Mystical Housewives Tarot, the devil's work, if you ask me. According to gossip, the Housewives Tarot was introduced by housewife extraordinaire Marlene Louise Weatherby in the early 1950s. She was a happy housemaker who seemed to have it all: a devoted husband and obedient children, a sparkling home that was the talk of the town, a fashion sense to die for, and far more than her fair share of women's intuition. One fateful afternoon, while playing bridge with the gals from the neighborhood, Marlene decided the time had come to reveal the secret of her success. When she removed a mysterious tarot deck from her pocketbook, her friends gasped. "Marlene Weatherby, you put those away right now," snapped the hostess. "I don't allow that sort of mumbo jumbo in my home. What if my husband found out?" Okay, I'm really bad with accents, but it's the devil's work, if you ask me, whispered another lady. Everyone was appalled that Marlene would dare bring such an item to bridge. Such behavior just wasn't ladylike, but Marlene had expected this kind of resistance. "Don't be silly, girls," she said with a wink. "Haven't you ever wondered how I keep my kitchen forever spotless, or how I concoct a perfect meatloaf every time, or why my mother-in-law simply adores me? These cards are my inspiration, my muse. Whenever I have trouble or questions, they help me sort things out. Blah, 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 blah." And then, okay, eventually, the girls kind of like were easily swayed, and then they asked to do their fortunes as well, or they asked for readings and blah, blah. So yeah, and then she became the mystical Madame Merlina. And happy family, a perfect home, a thriving business. Yes, the Housewives Tarot gave Marlene the power and the know-how to have it all. Okay. And then here you have domestic divination made simple, conducting a reading. So okay. What's the Virgin? Oh, okay. So if it's your first time, okay, Neapolitan, more advanced to the Virgin, and then the Dinette. How do you pronounce that? Okay, the heart of the matter is served on a plate. And then you have the cards, the clothesline. Oh, okay, so these are kind of like your cards, card spreads, I guess. Okay, the martini, And then onto the meanings of the cards. I have the major arcana. Ooh, you have images. That's really cool. Okay. You get short descriptions, like for example, the chariot. You can't run your errands by relaxing on the sofa, so gas up that station wagon and get a move on. While on the road, you'll need to make some important decisions. Should you try that shortcut you've heard about or take the tried and true route? You know, like the back of your hand. Remember, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Okay, so very simple descriptions. It doesn't allude back to the actual tarot deck, like how does the actual chariot card look, or how does it truly represent. I think they injected their own style into the descriptions, but you do have here like keywords that you can use. I mean, I think this deck would be perfect for someone who's been reading tarot for a while, or someone who's very familiar with the actual meanings of the cards themselves, so that you have more information, or you have a lot more knowledge to back you up on each of the cards, as opposed to just what is given on the guidebook. Now, we're gonna go ahead and check out the cards. Let's see. So the minor, what do you call it? The minor arcana cards has divinated eggs. Okay, cool. For use with the dinner spread. You'll never go back to the veiled eggs once you've had them divinated. Oh my god, I want to try this one though. I'm gonna try this one. I'm gonna cook. The instructions book. Madame Marlene's Mystical Martini. Okay, so she also has a martini here. So really cool. Let's talk about the cardstock. Cardstock is good. It's quite papery. There's no lamination. It's not matte. It's just like printed on like a matte paper, but there's no matte coating there. I like the checkered. It's very vintage. It screams Housewives tarot, if that makes sense. But let's have a look. So I'm gonna zoom you in so you have a better appreciation of the cards, and we're gonna start with the flip through. This is a full flip through of the Housewives Tarot, a domestic divination kit. What do you think? I think it's a really nice deck. I think it's cute. It's not something I would recommend everyone to go out and buy. You know, it's not the best thing since sliced bread. But I feel like this is more of like a novel deck, like a quirky deck that, you know, if you're keen to get it, if if the theme excites you, go ahead and grab it. Other than that, you know, it's not something to write home about. I'm impressed, actually. You know, I'm not saying this to downplay the deck. I am quite impressed with the style, with the images and all of that. I just feel like, you know, it's not gonna be one for beginners, or if you're not interested in, you know, this era, then you probably wouldn't want it. But yeah, overall, like, the cards look really nice. I love the style, and you know, they do have this colored border, which on a normal day I wouldn't really like, but since this is a themed tarot deck, that should be fine. The images themselves, of course, they really do have that classic 1940s 50s look, in terms of like the people that they have here. This is so weird. I don't know why she's touching her armpit, but oh well. This is a funny card. I think it's you know, that's how children were, what do you call that? Children were disciplined back in those days. So not that I would know, I wasn't born yet, but you know, I know that that's how it was. Some of the cards are reminiscent of like old ads that, you know, I would frequently see, like maybe in Reader's Digest or whatever, like my grandpa's collection of like decades old of Reader's Digest. I would see like ads from the 50s or earlier. So I do think like some of the images here are, you know, familiar. Not familiar in the sense like I've seen this before, but like the theme or the vibe, right? So this is so cool. Yeah, I'm so keen to try this out. More than that, I'm keen to try the recipes. And if anything, you know, this deck just really made me really hungry. Look at all those yummy homemade cakes, this turkey. You know, I think I'm gonna have to end the review quick because yeah, I'm getting hungry, but that's it. There's not a lot to say about this deck. I think the images are nice. It shuffles well. The cardstock quality is good, and like I said, you know, if it's within your likes or interests, then would be good to get one. But otherwise, you know, I don't think you should go ahead. I really don't think, you know, this is a deck that's meant for everyone. So there you go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. I do respond as soon as I can. I apologize. I know I've been missing comments left and right, but yeah, I am a very busy woman, so whenever I get the chance, I really do try and check and respond to y'all. If you find this content interesting, then I would recommend you like or subscribe to my channel for future videos like this. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day. Bye!